If I'm doing the anniversary portfolio reviews, I'm going to my spreadsheet and doing the portfolio
Yeah.
review. But my favorite thing to do with it is I use it for farming.
Yeah. For people just like
Yeah,
to be able to, it's more than just like that little happy spring
yeah.
forward
And
postcard. Yeah.
I think like when I brought this up, you were like, you're crazy.
Well, she is crazy. So welcome back to Realestatable. It's Ashley and Tiffany, and we are here today to talk about getting more listings. That's what you want, right?
Yes, absolutely. And listings are what make you last as an agent in this business. It helps you last in market shifts. It doesn't matter if it's high or low. Getting the listing is what you want in this market.
Especially because we're going to start to talk about multiple offers being back. Like, that's
Mm-hmm.
a terrible thing to be thinking about, but listings are where it's at. It's always has been, always will be. So we want to talk about a creative way to be getting more business
Hmm.
through this tool. This is not just for your past book of business. This is not just for people that you know. We can be using this for Farmington, creatively getting new business as well. So
Yeah. So we're going to be talking about portfolio reviews, and we're going to go in depth on how we create these portfolio reviews, how we do it different for past clients and potential clients. We'll use it for farming, use it for your sphere of influence, but it's showing your potential sellers, providing them value, and showing them kind of what you can do and offer them as a listing agent.
super pumped. Let's dive in.
All right, guys, let's talk about portfolio reviews, what goes in them, who gets them, when they get them, how they get them, all the things.
Everything A to Z.
A to Z. So, first thing that I'm going to do is look at my spreadsheet of all my SOI, my past clients, and I'm looking at their home anniversary date. And this is what I do. I do it monthly for each person's home anniversary.
Hmm.
So, I don't deliver it on the day that they closed.
Somewhere in the range.
Yeah, as long as it's within like 30 to 60 days. We know we all get busy, but
My level of success is plus or minus 60. Ashley's is probably plus or minus 30.
I try to do it within the month.
Yeah. I don't necessarily pose it as like, hey, here's your anniversary gift kind of
Mhm.
thing. It's like, hey, here's congratulations, another year of home ownership.
Yep.
I think that a lot of times I'm like, didn't I just do this?
Yeah.
Wait, I swear the Smith family, like we just did this 2 days ago and it's already been a year. So,
That always
so
amazes me
yeah,
when I look at my spreadsheet, I'm like, how has it been a year?
already.
How has
Yep.
it been 2 years? But every year
Hmm.
they're getting this portfolio review.
And those people that are on your spreadsheet, so even if you weren't involved in that closing of the ownership, so even if it's a buyer for your listing, just someone from, the
Hmm.
soccer field, et cetera, anybody that goes on there, you're searching and getting their home anniversary date.
Yep. If I know like your name and information,
Hmm.
and you're on my spreadsheet, I'm gonna drop you a portfolio review.
And how are you getting that anniversary date if it's not someone that like, okay, I have a closing that I'm aware of it?
Well, we can find that out on tax
Yeah,
records.
our electronic tax records,
Hmm.
which we know we're licensed in Tennessee and Kentucky. If you're in Kentucky, well, maybe we can find it there.
It's a
Tennessee
little
for sure.
harder
Yeah,
for
yeah.
for
But there should
Kentucky.
be a way for public access to that. But also don't be afraid to ask. That could be a good follow up that, hey, this is a free service that I'm providing.
Hmm.
If you're starting to market to somebody, this is a value add, how you're showing that you're part of kind of that forever home ownership,
Yep.
and meeting real estate goals as well. So
And don't forget, guys, you can still get our spreadsheet at realestatable.com/spreadsheet.
yep.
Then you'll know what we're talking about. It has all the different columns that you can stay on top of your SOI and your past clients. So if I'm doing the anniversary portfolio reviews, I'm going to my spreadsheet and doing the portfolio
Yeah.
review. But my favorite thing to do with it is I use it for farming.
Yeah, for people just like
Yeah.
to be able to, it's more than just like that little happy spring
Yeah.
forward
And
postcard. Yeah.
I think like when I brought this up, you were like, "You're crazy."
Well, she is crazy. So
Because I was like, "I'm gonna send one of these to everyone in the neighborhood."
well,
And
we're going to talk about what you send and I'm like, you're going to send what? And then you're going to door drop all of these.
but
So,
it's
yeah.
not as daunting as you think.
No, it's
So,
really not.
what I do is I go on tax records and I pull the neighborhood information.
Mhm.
So, the addresses of all the people, and I'll usually do a time on our tax records, you can do a time frame. So I can say people who have owned the house between 2 and 5 years. We live in a military town, so that's about
This is sweet spot.
that's the sweet spot of when people are starting to move again, and when they're needing to sell their house. So I go to tax records, I get that list, and I print out the labels.
Mm-hmm.
And this is kind of how I check off like and know what portfolio review I've done or not. Then I go to narrpr.com. If you have not been on that site, just go on there and
it's for free.
it's
Another
for
free thing.
Yes, it is free, and it has so many different tools.
Yeah.
And they have an app, which I love because I like to look at it when I'm on the go. It has comps. You can run comps on a property. So a lot of times if my buyer's like, I don't know, does this seem overpriced? I can quickly look on the
fast.
go.
Yep.
And if I need to run comps later, like more specifically, I can. But for quick and easy, you can pull it up right away. Super easy.
Yeah. So using that free resource, narrpr.com, you're going to go through there, and it's a super user-friendly site. So I feel we self-taught and kind of navigated around. We've heard several people that we have heard at conventions and podcasts, et cetera, talk about using this resource. So we're like, okay, if we're going to systemize using this for farming or using this on a robust spreadsheet of, 10, 20, 40, 50 people a month, how can we make the analysis part of this a little bit more streamlined, but as accurate as possible? So going through there, you're going to plug in the address of the property. There's going to be some options that pop up. And the one that we use is a mini report, which is a 12-page report. That's why I thought she was crazy when she's talking about, let's just send these to hundreds of these to a neighborhood. But it really, when you're putting more value in the hands of that recipient, it's better than, the marketing seasonal postcards, et cetera. You're going to get the phone to ring a whole heck of a bunch more. So you go through there, address, drop down, many options, research, figure out which one makes the most sense. We chose mini report, but there's not necessarily a class that we've set in for this. I think that we are looking to be able to provide a Zoom class for you guys to walk you through this whole process. But in the meantime, if you have any questions, have anything that we can actually answer for you, send us a message, send us an email. We're happy to help. But also to add to that, tons of tutorial videos on that website as well. So running that report. So talk a little bit more, dive into that. Okay. What are some of the downfalls of RPR?
Okay. So downfall would be that this is an online valuation of a home. So if you have, it works really well for like cookie cutter neighborhoods.
Yeah, for sure.
Most
accurate.
Yeah, when you start getting into like custom homes or homes that may have more upgrades than others, that's when you might need to just run the report, like run a regular
manually.
CMA.
Yep, manually.
Yeah, because somebody might have a finished basement and that wasn't finished when they first bought it, or they may have put in a pool or whatever at another garage or something like that where you need to take into account. But for the farming, I typically farm neighborhoods that are
I was just going to say that too.
similar.
So if you're using this for farming, then you're not going to the custom variation of houses. This has to be kind of cookie cutter, kind of by the books kind of thing. Another thing that I found has been an issue is just making sure that the data is correct in the report that's being pulled. So I know sometimes the online tax records or just public data from previous sales is not showing accurate square footage. I'm privy to that information if I have closed that property. So just make sure you do a good 1 to 2 minute look over, that you're not providing and putting in the hand of your clients any specific information that would be misinformation, because there is going to be probably 5 to 10% of the time it's best for you to be running your own report like you normally would be doing for like a listing appointment. You might need to take a little bit more time. But I think when you're putting a return on your time, putting this into the hands of your spreadsheet book of business, it's definitely worth it. Definitely worth it to be giving that knowledge is power.
Yeah. And for the farming, I'm not as worried about if they get I don't want to say the wrong value on their home.
Yeah, you're trying to get the phone to ring.
But I'm getting the phone to ring. If it's my past client, then I'm scrubbing through a little bit more and being like, wait a second, that's not right. But if I'm just farming, I trust the system enough to give me something close.
Yes. Yep. And
talking point.
You're providing value, other pieces of marketing that we're going to talk about being included in that too.
Yeah.
So, the report may not be 100% accurate, there's going to be a range. We're going to talk about the range that we provide to them. But that's going to at least give a little bit more value than like those kind of cold marketing postcards that we talked about too. Another thing to point out is if this is a newer home or new construction. So what happens? What do you do when you plug in 123 Short Street and that house is only 18 months old, 2 months or 2 years old, and it's not pulling it up?
If it's not pulling it up, I'll run my own comps.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can get away with searching the lot number, but I would rather just run my own.
I've done that too, where you can put in the MLS number because sometimes it pulls it. But usually when that happens from the new construction standpoint, when it's not been subdivided out correctly, it's geocoding that location and not pulling it over correctly. So just be super careful. If you pull from MLS or lot number, that the right information, the right comps are being used from that. And I think as a market expert, all of us kind of know that 123 Short Street and 456 Long Street are two totally different areas of town. So you need to use your judgment. This is not like a set it, forget it, close your eyes and hope that you don't look like an idiot and what you're delivering, to the consumer. So be mindful of that. Like that's going to be the disclaimer we say over and over again. This will just help streamline it to kind of speed up the process, especially if you're crazy and like Ashlee and kind of dive into the farming part of it, which has been a huge return for you.
Yes, absolutely.
I feel like you've done, how many neighborhoods have you farmed so far with this?
I don't even know. Honestly, I need to get that back into my regular
just making sure
monthly.
like, okay, I did this January of last year, I need to be doing it January of this year.
Yeah, create like a tracking, because what I don't want to do is send out a portfolio review and then they never get anything from me again.
True.
So cost wise, if I'm continuously following up with them with like say a postcard and then maybe I door knock, so I don't want it to be I sent out this packet, nobody called me, I'm moving to the next neighborhood.
Yeah.
Farming sometimes takes years for the return to come.
Well, and especially too, because it's not just a postcard stamp, and it's the cost of printing the materials, all of those things too. So yeah, definitely having a plan in place for that. And we'll talk future episodes about specifics on farming. But if you have any suggestions on what has worked with you for farming, like special things that have actually done the trick to get that phone to ring or the door to be answered, we are all ears as far as that goes, for sure.
All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break. And after the break, we're going to talk about what exactly goes in the portfolio review and kind of how we deliver that packet. Break.
And done.
I kind of want to see how many minutes we're at. Just to see. Ooh, okay.
That was good. I mean, if it's a 20-minute episode, I feel like that was good.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So let me say welcome back.
Sure.
All right. Welcome back. We are going to now dive into things that are included with the report that we just went over, usually pulled from RPR, but sometimes it's a actual custom report. So break it down. What's the first thing that we're doing from here included in the packets, which is for farming? What does that packet look like? And then for our clients.
Okay. So step one, when you get the report, it's going to have a Google photo of the house. Sometimes those photos look awful. Like, I'm not going to lie. Yeah. Or sometimes if it's new construction, sometimes it's just a picture of an empty lot. So at that point, I use my best judgment, and sometimes I take that page off.
The cover page.
Yes, because I don't want them to be like, why'd they send me a picture of a dirt lot? I want it to be their house, or I'm just skipping it because it doesn't look good. So that's a pro tip. But I'm adding a cover page, and we created a template.
Yep.
And that's going to be available on our website for you to use to be able to create your own portfolio reviews. So this cover page has a few items on it. It says portfolio review. It then has the address of the property. It has what the purchase price was when that person bought it, and then what the estimated value is now. So you have all of these boxes, and then you put the percentage of how much the value went up. or down. But if it goes down, probably don't send it. Skip that one.
Well, that is something to talk about though, for sure.
Mhm.
But yes, the percentage of change in value for
Yes.
sure.
Yeah.
And that template that we have on our website is completely customizable and
Yeah.
it's fillable. So you're doing this and you're switching this out for each property. So that's
Yes.
going to take a little bit of time. The time for you to create the RPR report and then the change out to
Yeah.
customize this. But this is going to be the first thing that they see
Mhm.
on top of that report. So we want to make sure that it has your branding,
Yeah.
your information, and then really what's the gist of what they're looking at. They could look at the 12-page report and be like,
What?
okay, what does this mean to me?
Yeah,
Kind of thing.
exactly.
So it's kind of like a hot sheet.
Yeah, it's like the main topics of what they
Yes.
can find in this packet.
Yep.
And I think that really wows people. I had someone, I went on a listing appointment for my packet, and this seller was like, "Wow, I can't believe you sent me this packet. Like, it's so professional. I can really tell that you care about what you do and you really love what you do, because nobody's sending these packets."
Nobody as in the listing or the buyer's agent from when he purchased, because we know statistically
Yeah.
the majority of these people that they're getting this in the farming aspect of things has not been followed up at all. And
Mhm.
that's phone call, text, mail, anything. And then you're going, boom, here's some value for you.
Well, funny story. He said he's actually been followed up with his agent,
Dang.
but I guess she like lives an hour away or something, and he's like, I don't know. Like, I
Funny,
want someone
funny
more.
story. You're wrong.
Yeah.
This is a statistic override.
Exactly, literally. But no,
But
I
that's a
was.
good. I mean, that's a good testimony that it was like,
Yeah.
hey, this is good enough for my phone to ring, even with the small
Mhm.
percentage that his agent had been following
And
up.
this was what I used for farming too. So it wasn't even like the portfolio reviews that our past clients get.
Yep. Yep. Now, so let's break that down. Let's simplify it for farming. What does farming clients or farming doors get?
Okay.
And then we'll kind of dive in deeper for what our past clients get. So,
Okay.
the cover sheet that you're saying, and we need to make sure that we note that this cover sheet says estimated value. Kind of disclaimering to them, if they want a true and accurate evaluation, you probably are going to have to visit the property and you're going to have to do a little bit more dive in deeper as far as getting value for that.
Yes, exactly. So you have your cover page. I like to put a note, like a letter from Ashlee kind of thing. Just it's a little bit about myself, a little bit about the services I provide, so that way they can put a face to this packet, essentially.
And that is like, that's not a handwritten note because you're not that crazy.
No.
This is a pre-printed as well. So we can definitely add that to our our free download for the cover sheet. We'll also include an example letter that you'll need to personalize as well. So cover sheet, letter, RPR report, anything else going into the packet?
I've made a page in Canva it's a review page. So I've pulled reviews from Google or Facebook. You really want to use seller reviews.
Yeah, for sure.
If you don't have reviews though, you can have friends write a review about you. So maybe they may not have used you, or maybe you're brand new and you don't have any reviews. Have some friends or family write a character review on you. Just saying what kind of person
choose the
you
right
are.
friends though. Like that's choose the right friends that are going to say the right thing for the right for the right audience.
Yeah. So you definitely want some 5-star reviews. And I just created a review sheet on Canva, and I throw that in there too to show I've had happy clients.
And the way that you're kind of assembling these. So what's the first thing that they see? Second, like how do you order those into the packet?
I usually do. I think I do the letter first, and then the cover sheet.
The cover sheet.
The portfolio review cover sheet. And then I'll do reviews, and then they can open the meat and potatoes of the mini report.
Coming back behind there. Yeah. Okay. So those papers, probably 15 papers at most. What do you do with them, and how do you get them to the doors of the subdivision?
Okay. So I went on Amazon and I found these mailers.
Yeah. Poly mailers.
Poly mailers.
Mailers.
And really, this is not on brand. I didn't pick like a brand color. I chose pink. And it says, I've been what you're waiting for. And so people are like, what the heck is this? like a pink package. What did I order? Kind of thing. It sparks your interest.
Suspicious.
Yeah, like what have I been waiting for? I don't know.
Yeah. Yep.
So people obviously open it.
Yep.
That comes in different colors. We can always link that too if you guys want. But just pick a mailer. And for farming, I put the mailer in there. And depending on my schedule, I'll either actually mail those, or I'll door drop them.
Door drop them. Okay.
Yeah, it just depends. It depends on my schedule.
And probably the subdivision too, because I feel like some of them have really long driveways, have really large yards.
Yeah, or like they're spaced out. And
how much do those cost if you're gonna mail them? I'm adding up 15 sheets of color copy, the poly mailer, which is like five cents on the door. So how much when you were mailing them? How much would you say that's?
It was 3 stamps.
3 stamps. Okay. Yeah.
So not too bad, but I mean, the price keeps going up. The first stamps.
3 stamps is only $1 million. It's fine. $1 million return on your time. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah.
But I would say too, I went up to the post office and had them weigh it and say, okay, you're going to need 3 stamps to mail this. And then I bought a bunch of stamps and stamped them all out. But just be sure that you're providing enough postage. And
don't forget to, statistically, we will talk about this in farming, in marketing all day long. Stamps are going to get a better open rate 1000% over you doing the metered mail or the any type of other machine posted mail. So when she says it was 3 stamps, that's because she knows that's what's going to be the little bit extra to get the package to be essentially.
Well, if I'm putting 3 stamps on it, I hope they open it.
Well,
that's 3 stickers.
But you got a cute you have a cute poly mailer that says
what you waiting for,
and it's in pink too. So, but yes, I think a version of all of those things. I feel like super motivated right now to start farming neighborhoods, and I think that this is the key for sure. So really less than $2. I'm going to say, depending on your cost of color printing, probably less than $2.
You know what would be good to add to this is, for the neighborhood farming ones, like a market stats sheet.
I was just going to say, what more could we be doing? What more, or any suggestions that you guys have? I was thinking too, and again, it's going to be all a cost analysis. So like we have all the extra stuff that we put into our client, and those are boxes, those are door drop, there's very special attention that happens with those. But I also think that you could put a trifold brochure, specific about real estate, you as an agent, as a team, etc. Those could be added into there. I think that was, a really good idea as well. So anything more that you think has worked or stuff that you're considering, tag us in your content with that too. Send us a message. We want to definitely be perfecting this for sure.
Yeah, and if you're already doing portfolio reviews, you should send a picture of how you do it.
Yeah.
Like, what does your presentation look like?
Because I think that's really how we have kind of perfected this. And I'm listening. I'm like, geez, I need to do that. I'm like, I don't have a review page right now for that. But I'm only doing this with my book of business. So I think that's super important. You cannot put that into the mail for cold marketing farming without having, hey, here's how great I am as being part of the message. Mine, they ought to know how great I am. So they just need to be reminded.
You don't work with strangers.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but I think that I could have been so much more hyper successful if I would have done that. Like I'm thinking about the hours that I've spent farming over the years. I'm like, geez, where was this? But I think all of this to say, we've learned about this concept probably half a dozen times from different people around the country doing this. And this is kind of what we've perfected to be, and which is sitting across the table in the same city is completely 2 different things. Our agents that are on our team, different ways of implementing this. So if you're doing this, we want to hear from you so we can kind of all grow together. We'll share the information with you guys too. So farming, cap on that. You think that's good? Anything else to add?
No, I think if you guys aren't doing this strategy,
do it.
But there's also not going to be somebody in your market who's doing this.
Yeah. I just take
because we heard about it so many times before we actually were like, let's do a sit down meeting and figure out how we can make this our own. So we've kind of taken the guesswork out of it for you.
Yep.
And it's a proven strategy that works, and people are impressed by that. Before you even walk through the door, you've already impressed them with something else, with value.
Well, and I was going to say too, to add to this as well. So like, I think that there's things you should be doing to kind of like the rotational of your business. Like we should be doing and providing this information all the time for our book of business, our spreadsheet, our people, right? You want to grow your business.
Yeah.
We just gave you like the ticket to growing your business. So thinking outside of the box, thinking real and relatable to those homeowners, I don't think there's a better tip in getting listings in any market than that right there.
Yeah. So great farming tip, great value that you can provide for farming. So on the flip side, it is also great value to provide for your past clients who are currently owning a home that you may list one day. So let's talk about the difference between the farming packet and the poly mailer versus what our past clients get.
Yeah. So I also send a letter. And that letter is way different. So it is like a celebration in a letter. So it's congratulations on another year of home ownership. Hey, here's an awesome update on where you're at sitting right now with the value of your property. Thankfully, 99.9% of these that we have done have not been a decrease. We like maybe are starting to see on the anniversary some decreases. Probably going to have to come up with another letter if there is a decrease in that. But I think that so far it's like, congratulations, great return on your investment. You did what you should have done. Here's where you're sitting. That letter also kind of has conversation about like, what does this mean? It may not be a time for you to actually sell. This may not even be in your wheelhouse, that you are actually just providing value to keep you updated on the investment, just like an investment portfolio would. And that's the beef of the letter. Does yours say anything different? Anything more?
No, mine says about the same.
Well, and the other thing we always include swag. If you know Tennessee's Elite, you know swag. And so we also kind of plug that there's some surprise swag in the box for them as well. So that letter will be linked as well on our website, so you can kind of make that your own. But two different temperatures of that celebration of congratulations, return on your investment. Here's your investment portfolio update with that. So that's the letter.
And we, like she said, we put them in boxes. We get those also on Amazon. I just realized I've had them on auto ship for a long time. And I'm like, man, we have a lot of boxes. And Tiffany's like, no, I ordered them. I'm like, no, I just found out they were on auto ship.
So if you need some boxes, you're in the Middle Tennessee area,
come get some.
We really actually, I'm not lying. That's the truth.
So many boxes.
Our administrative staff is like, are you guys behind on portfolio reviews? What's going on?
Well, yes, we are, but also we have a lot of boxes.
We have a lot of boxes. So it goes into a box. It's almost like it's a present. It's a box that's the size of paper. And they open that up. That letter, like you said, is the first thing that they see.
Yeah, and then our pictures on there, so you can see, oh, this is a box from Tiffany. We like to put those little paper shreds in there, like the crinkly. We get some glitter ones, we get some white ones, we get black. Like we just do different colors. We like the colors.
Yeah, it's really just presented like it's almost like a celebration in a box kind of thing.
Yeah.
So you have the letter, you have the cover sheet, same exact thing. I don't think it's anything different from that. Sometimes, depending on the property or how well the RPR report is, I will run a regular report. For the longest time, I was just doing the regular reports for my spreadsheet base versus the mini report. But check both of those out. See which one is going to be of more value. See if you need to pull some pages out, etc. So I think regular report runs 20 to 25, and then the other runs about 12, 13 on that too. And then if you are a Berkshire Hathaway Home Services agent, we are talking about this like crazy right now. Real estate planning is the name of the game. And with that, you also have in your resource center, there are so many other resources that you can be including in this packet, real estate planning guides, etc. So specific to our company, one of the big value adds is that. So we also include some of that information, a booklet in the back of those too.
I bet though some other companies probably provide something.
I don't know.
I don't know what, but they might provide
it. She's helping the kids in the back. Like, your mom cares about you too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But I think right now that's been like a big, like 2023 is all about this. We've been doing this for years past, but 2023 with Berkshire Hathaway, that's a big focus of ours. So just want to point you in the direction of your resource center, and probably, like she said, other companies too. Check to see if there's anything company specific materials that you could be included with that too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So also included in the box for past clients, we've got the portfolio review. We put the shreds in there, and then we put some swag. So if you have any kind of swag, we have koozies, pens, stickers,
Yeah, water bottle stickers.
water bottle.
I'm trying to think too, because like I'm like, okay, when we come up on the anniversary, they're just gonna get the same thing every year.
Well, I was also thinking like the box. So the box is not thin like
Yeah.
paper. It is, you can fit some stuff in there. I wonder we should put like, remember we had those frisbees? That would be a good
Mm.
like summer one, or I don't know.
I was thinking just anything, like when we have events and we have like a little bit extra of something that
Mhm.
just could go into like sunglasses or from our sunglass pop by we have the branded sunglasses, just things like that. We're just having all kinds of aha moments over here today. But anything like that, our boxes are definitely thicker. Could fit some
Mhm.
more things. I've seen this be where it almost is like a box folder. It's like literally like a half an inch big, and you're only getting that stuff in there.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing is that you want it to look like almost like a package is being delivered. And I purposely, this is my strategy on this is I purposely have this portfolio review delivered to the property by our assistant. So
Yeah.
I do not, because I want the ability to follow up. Some people do choose to door knock with them. I guess you could call it door knock, or set up a time to review this over the table.
Mhm.
I purposely, this is a two-touch system for me. So the delivery of that, I still am asking for the opportunity to sit down at the table, but not on the fly. I want to schedule that. I want
Yeah.
this to me is too important where it's like, hey, special delivery, check your front porch, information about your property is there. And I would love the opportunity to sit across the table to talk about this. Most
Yeah.
people, I don't have a lot of people bite on that.
Mm-mm.
I get a lot of questions though. I get a lot of really, really good in-depth questions. Um,
Well, I think if they're not really ready to sell, they probably don't want to sit down and talk about
Yeah.
it.
Yep. Yep. I think it's
Yeah.
posed though, just to be able to say like, okay, you could take it a level further. So if you have a lot of equity in the house,
Mm.
okay, what should you be doing with the
Yeah.
equity? Should it be something that you're doing to update the home for a better return?
Yeah.
Should it be something that you're pulling it out for other investments? Like when you talk about real estate planning, we're not talking about one house. We're
Right.
talking about the big picture of that. What are your future goals? And that should be the story of the conversation that you're having. And how are you getting that across? So the whole, I guess, basis of this being something completely different in your follow up and all the cute things that you do for your clients and all the fun events that you're doing. This is the guts of being that pro
Yeah.
in a market that's needing that for sure. So that's why I do the two step. Do I sit across the table? No, but then I'm starting to kind of dive across, um, different goals of have you thought about this kind of thing?
Yeah. And I use that as a touch too. Our assistant will text us and say, "Hey, I dropped this off at 123 Main Street." So you kind of can
Mm-hmm.
follow up around that time, like, "Hey, I just dropped something." Um, but a lot of times, people have door cameras now, and so luckily our assistant has blonde hair, and like at a quick glance could pass as
I
me.
never even thought of that. I never thought of that too.
Yeah,
Thought
you
of that
might not
too.
want to
So,
say, "I personally door dropped this to
oh
you."
heck no, I'm not saying that. I definitely, and most of my people know that she's not door. And if I
Yeah.
am, I'm banging on the door to come in to
Yeah.
have, have a drink across the table.
Well,
So
I've had it where people have been like, "Oh, well, I saw you come up, but I couldn't get there fast enough." And I'm like, "Oh, sorry." Like, so I don't know if Erin runs up to the door and
I mean,
runs
she has
away.
to be. Any person that has delivered pop buys, that is
Yeah.
in a hurry or has a list of 100 million of them, they're not. This is they're hoping that the alert happens as they're pulling out of the
Yeah,
driveway.
exactly.
I know that for sure. My kids right now think that Kinsley has learned ding dong ditch.
Oh.
And I had a neighbor send me the ring on that. That girl is so close to beating that ring camera. I'm like, get it.
Oh my
Because you're going to be hired for a Popeye delivery. You
Oh
only
my
have a couple
gosh.
years left till you're going to be driving. But yeah, so I'm pretty sure Aaron has the same thing.
Yeah.
Probably childhood trauma from those ring cameras. Anything else that you can add to clients and what we're adding into there? I don't think I add any extra. I don't add reviews. Do you add your reviews into your client boxes?
Yeah.
You do? Okay.
I want them to remember how great I am.
See, it's really hard to forget. On this
Like, remember
end.
me? Remember how great I am? Here's all my reviews.
And here's the review you wrote about me too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that we should really start to think a little bit deeper. I'm loving all of the comments and kind of strategizing that we're hearing. And so if you guys have anything else that you're doing, anything that we're missing that you think that can make us take this to the next level, definitely want to hear about that.
Mhm.
We'll share those as well. But I don't think there's anything else to add to that besides I need to get caught up.
Yeah, you need to get caught up, and I want to re-farm now. I'm ready to
Yeah,
start farming
so
again.
TBD, that is coming at you. So
Yeah. All right. Thanks for listening, guys. What a great episode we just had on portfolio reviews. I know it kind of lighted a fire under me to start farming again, but it's a quick, easy way to get good information out, to give your value, get your name out there, and or remind your people like you've made this investment. This is what
Yeah.
real estate can do for you.
Well, I think too, like when I look at that, I'm like, man, if I had a realtor that was going, okay, this is your return on your investment, but hey, have you thought about it? Like, I know the kitchen was not the best, and now you're sitting on, $300,000 to $400,000 of equity, which is some of our people right now.
Yeah.
And if you're in a higher price point market, you're probably even talking more than that. To talk and educate them through the process, like, guys, this is where you prove that you're a pro in an easy resource that like it's a no-brainer.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And I just really love it for farming. Like
Yeah.
my people do appreciate it, but I do love it for farming. And I just think that, like I said, it's an inexpensive way to give out value. And the people who are kind of interested in selling, they really appreciate it too.
Yeah, I think it's different and something thinking outside of the box for sure. I think that if you're going to spend the money, spend the time, this is probably a couple of mailers in the cost aspect of that, but almost a guaranteed a win on getting that phone to ring for sure. As we all know, listing agents last, and that's what we need to be focusing on, bringing that value to you guys.
Yeah. So if you guys thought that this episode was helpful for you, please share it with someone who would benefit from it. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and all of the resources that we talked about in the episode will be on our website at realestatable.com.
All right, guys, we'll see you next time.